Everybody, welcome to Market Pros. My guest today is Bradley. How are you doing today, Bradley?
I am well.
Good. So real quick, could I have a quick rundown of your experience in the markets, crypto, NFTs, just the entire markets as a whole?
I found out about crypto, generally Bitcoin at first in like 2017, but didn't make much of it because the general sentiment around it where I am was that people are getting conned off it. So it was not looking like the most legit thing ever. So coming up a few years later, um, still in high school, we started talking about mining with a few of my friends because they were actually interested, and I think I have a friend who did buy like a substantial amount of BTC, but since we fell off, I do not know whether he's sitting on a yacht somewhere or maybe he decided to sell too early, or maybe lost his private keys. So fast forward to last year is when I decided to genuinely dip my toes in. So started off with trying some mining by myself, but trying to mine coins which are not mineable because those have a higher potential of exponential growth compared to the ones which are actually mineable. So through unmineable, I was mining Monero but getting rewarded in Cardano, but eventually got tired of following up on Cardano after to me they were like more talk and less action, so it was not as appealing a project anymore. So tried a few more Solana, tried a few more, and there was one of the projects there that was Solana. So dug into that by a lot and then found out about the whole Solana ecosystem, which interested me greatly. I was never a fan of Ethereum because the high transaction fees, although apparently will get fixed, it was just too great a barrier of entry for me to see it as a viable replacement for the if crypto is to be a replacement for the current financial system that has its own implications that are not favorable, in that if everything's decentralized, then who's going to build roads, because governments still do serve purposes. So looking into Solana, I was just uh, was just looking around into liquidity providing and such activities, just basic DeFi. Because slightly before I got into Solana, I was into the Binance Smart Chain, but then I like diverted from that direction, moved away from it because there was way too many scams, and being mostly a newbie, you tend to believe everything you see, and that notion of this and this a coin will go to 1 USD. I believed it for some point, I won't lie, but then I was just like, that makes no sense. After actually like doing math, comparing market caps and token prices and the implications of what would have to happen, I moved on. So I developed an interest in blockchain specific applications in the physical world. So that's what led me to stuff like Helium and Helium, Chainlink, Polkadot, and not a blockchain company, but just a tech company called Liquidstar. Helium basically is a decentralized peer-to-peer network, and it has it seeks to decentralize IoT networks and cellular networks, among other things. Chainlink, physical data oracles, physical data oracles can be like, you could theoretically, how they come together is you could have sensors on the Helium network, collect their data, supply them to Chainlink, and somebody on Chainlink buys the data from you. So you'll have sold you'll have made HNT on Helium, sold the data on Chainlink. It's just value adding propositions for multiple networks, multiple decentralized networks. On Polkadot, the cross-chain standards that they have, which allow multiple blockchains to tap into their relay chain, where Polkadot acts as a layer 0, enables cross-chain communication that can only be rivaled by Cosmos. But Cosmos has the disadvantage in that if the Cosmos blockchain does not secure every other blockchain. So if one of the blockchains is not secure, the whole ecosystem falls apart. So a young blockchain cannot compete with the newer, more established ones. So that, like a situation where you could carry tokens from say you're primarily an Ethereum user. Ethereum could apply for a parachain on Polkadot, get it, and at the same time you can have something like Akala network also having their blockchain on the Polkadot parachain, such that you could have cross-chain compatibility, since all their addresses are mostly, they're EVM compatible. So you could use your Akala USD, AUSD, on the Ethereum blockchain because of the cross-chain compatibility. It's a whole other story on the XCM token standards, which would be an interesting read. Okay, so that's Helium. Oh, Liquidstar. Liquidstar is a very little known company. This one I actually had the opportunity of talking to the founders, Scott and Connor Caldwell. They have been interested in NFTs and on-chain credentialing since 2017, but not in the sense of a money making proposition, more of like decentralized identities and services per se. I'll drop the link to I'll send Bribel the link to Scott's Twitter, where he's posted like the mod. That was quite an interesting one. So yes, that is where I currently am.
So, how did you feel when you first took that leap? Like that first risk when you first got into the market? How did you
Mm.
feel?
Oh, I was slightly terrified because I had no idea what I was doing. But at the same time, I was like, there's nobody around me. There's nobody around me who knew what I was doing. So also trying to explain it to them was a task in itself. So yes, it was a scary time, but it was a discovering time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was how I felt. It was pretty
Mm,
it was pretty scary at first because, as you said, nobody around me was doing this either. Nobody in my family ever invested, not even in the stock market. So I was the
mm,
first one to take the leap. And then, just as you said, trying to explain it, they thought I was crazy. They thought I was just throwing all my money away, you know. And
mm,
and then after 2 years, they finally was interested after they seen that the risk I took was worth it. And um, yeah, so then they wanted to get in. So then I explained everything to them, taught them, tried to teach them what I knew,
Hmm.
at least enough to break the ice and to take that initial risk. And now, you know, them, they are also glad that they took that first risk. You know, now they wish they would have listened to me a lot earlier, but the more important thing is that, you know, I got my family in, you know, and a few friends. So, yeah, it just took me a while to, you know, get them to realize what potential the space had in general. So, what are your long term perspectives on crypto? Like, where do you feel that it's going, even with all the regulation, you know, them trying to tax the hell out of it? You know, so where do you think it's all going to go in the next 5, 10, 20 years?
Um, Regulation is an almost impossible thing to do because it's something designed just to not be regulated. So if you go towards the antithesis of said thing, they will struggle. So there are some blockchain analytics companies that can help them do that, but the cost implications outweigh whatever gain that they'll be making. So that is an inherent problem for them. So 10, 20 years, the let's call it the leaderboard, the coin market cap front page, CoinGecko. The leaderboard will have changed drastically because BTC and ETH may still be there, but um, any crypto that offers physical world benefits are the ones that will be given priority. What then a fine line should be a fine line that can be drawn between blockchain technologies and cryptocurrencies. So if blockchain technologies would be like investing like not invest like a company like Tesla. Tesla buys cars. Like you can buy a car from Tesla, but their inherent business model is a physical service. Is a physical service, but they just happen to be listed on like the stock market. So that's the market evaluation. So such companies are the ones that will take prominence. So that's why you may have you may have like a crypto, like a blockchain like Algorand. Their tokenomics are terrible. They have not the best consumer level um, aspects on their blockchain. Like their transactions are reversible, and coins are freezable. So that is not one of the things that you'd rather have on your portfolio. So that is where you draw the line between that being a blockchain company and not a cryptocurrency. So that's one aspect to pay attention to. And yes, so if it has physical world application that's actually viable, not just like a money printer, then that's what you should pay attention to, in my opinion.
Okay, so what is your favorite market to either trade or invest in, and why?
Uh, Currently, I hold a lot of NFTs, but not for a specific for like flipping. I got tired of flipping because it's essentially just like putting us buy order and a sell order. It just it just doesn't it's not appealing to me. The fact that you have to wait for somebody to want it is not the best thing, is not the most reliable thing ever. But in interested in on-chain credentialing, so that's Project Galaxy. Gal is GAL. That okay, their coin has already launched. It was they had an ID on CoinList. I couldn't participate though. Um, that is currently what I'm interested in NFT wise, and I hold Solana obviously because it's Solana and among my favorite coins. Mm, when it comes to blockchain gaming, two companies, Fractal and YGG. Fractal was started by Twitch's co-founder, who also Justin Khan. That is a project that has recently come up, but is taking a very interesting approach. So that's one I'm keeping abreast on. I do have one of their native NFTs that were airdropped to the first 100,000 Discord members, and Project Galaxy, Fractal, Solana, and Helium and Polkadot. On Polkadot, Moonbeam Network. Moonbeam Network is how do you say? It's just a DeFi hub for Polkadot. That's just mostly it. I think so.
What are your future plans in in crypto, the markets as a whole, whether it be stocks, commodities, crypto, or real estate? I don't know if you're involved in any of those, but what are your future plans and so what are your future plans in the markets?
Future plans is to set up a bunch of helium hotspots, and from after doing that, set up like air quality sensors, and asset trackers, just for like physical, such that I supply the sensors to companies, and then they use the sensors and the data credits that they pay back to my hotspot, and for aspects like the air quality sensors, the data can be collected and sold to either or both Chainlink and another company called Declimate. So they're trying to develop decentralized climate models, so data to them would be useful. And another aspect for asset tracking would be a company called DIMO, DIMO. They have partnered with the Helium network, so you could give a proposition to, say, Uber drivers. You offer them a percentage of whatever is earned for so long as they just drive around with the USB stick plugged into their car, transmits over the Helium network, of which the hotspots you've set up strategically around the city, and you collect the data and give them their percentage, and you earn your own. So that is one strategy that I have employed.
What is what is one of the biggest mistakes that you have made in crypto? Whether it's which mistake have you lost the most money in? What do you think you could have done differently? So yeah, what is one or more of the biggest mistakes that you have made in crypto or the markets as a whole?
Biggest mistake is not believing in virtual land. I was very much conflicted on that was like late last year. I was very much conflicted between Sand and Mana and Gala. So I'm trying to make sense out of the thing, and by the time it gets around to my head, it was too late. So because I tried even explaining to like my friends to tell them that virtual land is a thing, and I was just like, no, that it made no sense. Like logically it did, but then when it comes to like saying it out loud, it just sounds like total nonsense. So I was just like, I was slightly frustrated. So I leave it alone, and then it 20x's between the period of time that I was considering it and finally noticing that it's actually worth something, and I was too late.
That is crazy that you said that
Mhm.
because that is also one of my specific biggest mistakes was with the
Mm.
Sandbox. Um, I was buying lands at $40, and
Mm-hmm.
I sold at 1 Ethereum a piece. I made a lot of money doing that, but now I could have sold those lands for 3 Ethereum. So I would have tripled the money that I made. I would have tripled my profits. But I got out too early because I doubted myself. I doubted that these NFTs would survive because,
Yeah.
the game was like, it kind of looked like Minecraft. I'm like, nobody's going to play this.
Yeah.
And, but little did I realize that there was not just, the potential of gameplay, there was
Mm-hmm.
also just the store of value in this
Mm-hmm.
digital real estate. Um, and also with the sand token, I was buying it at 4 cents. I sold it at 17. Then it went up to 70 cents within like 2 months of me selling it. So, yeah, that's crazy because that was also one of my biggest mistakes in crypto. So, in saying that, what would be, if you could go back? Well, no. If you could give a brand new investor advice,
Mm-hmm.
what would it be?
Um, be brave and be open-minded, but not too open-minded till your brain falls out. And don't be a vain optimist. If you see things are not going well, don't believe that they will automatically get better over time. Okay, sometimes it does happen, but the chances of that happening are very low. And if it's unique and if it has actual physical world value, pay attention. Like for as much as you wouldn't like buy the token or invest in any way, just pay attention regardless, because knowledge is power. So such that if you see multiple forks of the same project, you know somebody has seen something good there that they're trying to exploit. So yeah.
I completely agree. So we're almost out of time. Do you have any closing thoughts for the audience?
For the audience, that would like to remind you that nothing said by me or Bribul is financial advice. And we are not financial advisors. We're just people talking, providing our own opinions, giving our own experiences that may or may not, most likely may not result into the same results, into the same outcomes as your forays into the same market, because things do happen. And know the different types of regulations in your regions. And yes, that's mostly it.
All right. Well, thank you, Bradley, for coming on. I very much enjoyed this. Um,
Thank
everyone,
you
if
for having
oh yeah, it was my pleasure. Everyone, if you
me.
enjoyed the video, please smash the like button, and I will see you in the next one.